Hi, Steve here. We have the most serious warning of possible events coming from some reliable sources. And if these things come together in the next few days, I thought I'd better get it out to you right away. You remember the event that just recently happened a couple weeks ago? The U.S. abstains as UN demands an end to Israeli settlements?
The United Nations Security Council has passed a resolution that demands an end to Israeli settlements in Palestinian territory. The United States abstained from the vote, defying calls for a veto from Israel and Donald Trump. UN Ambassador for the United Nations, Samantha Power, spoke after the vote.
The United States has been sending the message that the settlements must stop privately and publicly for nearly 5 decades.
The United States allowed a UN Security Council resolution condemning Israeli settlement construction to be adopted, defying Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government and President-elect Donald Trump. The Security Council approved the resolution with 14 votes, with the U.S. abstaining.
So our vote today is fully in line with the bipartisan history of how American presidents have approached both the issue and the role of this body. We believe, though, that continued settlement building seriously undermines Israel's security. Some may cast the U.S. vote as a sign that we have finally given up on a two-state solution. Nothing could be further from the truth. None of us can give up on a two-state solution. We continue to believe that that solution is the only viable path to provide peace and security for the state of Israel and freedom and dignity for the Palestinian people.
Did the vote represent the final bitter chapter in the years of antagonism between President Barack Obama and Benjamin Netanyahu? In an intense diplomacy that unfolded in the 2 days before the vote, a senior Israeli official had accused the United States of abandoning the Jewish state with its refusal to block the resolution with a veto. And this set the stage for another potential major World War event that's going to happen on January 15th. Now, think about this. Just 5 days before Donald Trump takes the office of our president, a meeting of 70 nations will be held in Paris to arrange the final draft of a two-state solution. What's strange about this meeting is that neither Israel or Palestine will be represented. The convention was made possible by Barack Obama and his vote abstention at the UN. It isn't clear at this point whether Obama will lead the Paris event. It does appear that a delegation of Americans, including John Kerry, will be involved with the effort to forge a two-state solution. Without a doubt, January 15th date was intentional to avoid Trump, who clearly does not support Palestinian statehood and the division of Jerusalem, with those gathered at the Paris Convention. Those gathered at the Paris Convention will have to sign a treaty by January 19th. Otherwise, it won't have crucial American support behind it. There's a book called Lord of the World. The novel was written in 1907 by Robert Benson. Pope Benedict XVI called it prophetic, while Pope Francis encourages people on at least 2 occasions to read it. In one of his speeches, Francis claimed the book portrayed the transition of the world, the quote, globalization of hegemonic uniformity. He's right, although he neglects to tell you that this globalization of a uniformity is reached through violence, death, and destruction. The book mentions several people and events that are happening right now on the world stage. The novel is plot-driven and involves a U.S. Senator, Freemason Grandmaster, and charismatic speaker who takes the world by storm. He appears to be the Antichrist character in the Bible, one who promises a golden era for the world that finally delivers death to all those who oppose him. He particularly hates Christians, who he orders to be killed if they don't renounce their faith in the God of the Scriptures. The writer's New World religion is a bizarre combination of mother goddess worship and Freemasonry. In one scene, he unveils a statue of Mother Goddess for his audience. They go into a trance and begin to worship her. A character named Father Francis, a former official in the Roman Catholic Church, is the one who introduces him at the ceremony. Francis becomes one of the foremost leaders of the world religion. In December of 2015, we saw a major convention happen in Paris concerning the fabricated hoax also known as man-made climate change. Almost every country in the world signed on to a binding treaty requiring all participants to reduce greenhouse gases. But there were some who believed that the treaty had an alternative motive. Pope Francis might have been the strongest participant behind this initiative, despite the fact that the Vatican did not have voting status at this convention, and now we see another treaty coming together in Paris with the backing of 70 countries. This time it's Obama who appears to be pulling the last-minute strings. Unprecedented for a sitting president in his final days to preside over such a massive undertaking. Yet this is exactly what Obama is doing. In Lord of the World, Felsenburg leads an American delegation to lay the foundation of a peace accord. And it's at this time that Europe is filled with violence, demonstrations, rioting, and death persecution of the Christian West. It spreads to every country in Europe. In this novel, the president of the world invades Israel with the support of European nations. Meanwhile, Europe is hit with climate change, earthquakes, and major heat spells. The novel ends with Armageddon and the firebombing of Nazareth, ultimately killing the Pope. But it's the Paris Treaty that brings Julian Felsenburg into a state of totalitarian control. Felsenburg, the character in this novel, he's the one who brokers peace with many countries in the midst of rumors of wars and chaos that breaks out in Europe. Ironically, now we're seeing the exact same situation happening in Paris, involving many countries coming together to discuss the Holy Land, except neither Israel or Palestine will be there. And Obama will have a key role in this leading an American delegation, including John Kerry and Samantha Power. We'll see how this all plays out, but it's really odd that such a massive convention with leaders would be organized just 5 days before Trump becomes our 45th president, as an obvious attempt to keep him out of it. This appears to be a binding resolution as well and can't be reversed by the United States. If that's not scary enough, I received a copy of an email sent from a very reliable source I respect, and here's what it said. Ladies and gentlemen, I have high-level, trusted, private source advising that between now today, January 10th, 2017 and January 18th, 2017, we have an enhanced likelihood of an EMP attack against the United States. My recommendation is to treat this bit of intelligence as a drill. I can't say with certainty that an EMP will happen on the date given. I can say with certainty that we, the USA, are at risk of an EMP attack 24/7, 365 days. Review the protocols you'll follow if it's an EMP attack was to happen. Make sure that any gaps in your plans are dealt with ASAP. Make prudent preparations that fit your personal situation. Dozens of articles on EMP preparations are available. Pray, pray, pray. I agree. Pray. These next 9 to 10 days may be the most critical we've ever seen yet. An EMP would take out our complete electrical grid and plunge us back into the 18th century, which would be catastrophic for this country. So pray. Think about it. Hi, Steve here. You know, I love to get on YouTube and look at some of the videos, but I'll be honest with you, so much of the stuff on YouTube, and especially a lot of stuff with millions of views, is the most waste of time videos. But you know what? That's not the kind of videos I want to do. I want to do things that'll make a change in your life and that will help you to make a change in your life. I want to do videos that mean something, that have a real meaning and a real purpose. So, you know, I'd love to entertain, and I could do that all day long, but I want to give you videos that really matter, and that's the goal. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already, so that you can get the videos as soon as I put them out. I want to give you something that matters. Thanks for watching. Think about it now on YouTube.